Welcome to the ICU Podcast, where we explore the vestibular experience through conversations between patients and the health professionals who care for them.
During this podcast, we invite patients to share their stories and healthcare professionals to ask questions so they are equipped to better care for and truly see the invisible challenges faced by their patients. I'm Kimberly Warner.
And I'm Cynthia Ryan, and we are your hosts on this journey of discovery. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the ICU Podcast, where we illuminate invisible chronic illnesses and the people who live with them. In this episode, we're spotlighting Balance Awareness Week, an annual event hosted by the Vestibular Disorders Association each September. This global campaign raises awareness about the impact of vestibular disorders, these conditions that affect balance, dizziness, and spatial orientation, and connects patients, caregivers, and healthcare professionals through education and advocacy. Today, we're going to talk to Paul Morris, VeDA's Development Director, about how people can get involved in Balance Awareness Week, as well as Christian Chabbert, a French neurophysiologist who engages healthcare professionals across Europe in this event and is spearheading a global walk for balance. So I'm going to start by introducing our guests. Paul Morris has over 30 years experience in nonprofit fundraising, helping a wide spectrum of organizations raise millions of dollars to support their missions. He's led successful development efforts in direct health services at the state and national levels, and helped raise funds for organizations that work in regional theater, architectural preservation, offering chess to low-income students, and more. For Paul, fund development isn't just about raising money, but building relationships with people in our communities so that they feel heard, valued, and are excited about supporting their shared mission. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we also have, all the way over from France, Christian Chabbert is a French neurophysiologist and research director at the French National Center for Scientific Research. He leads the Pathophysiology and Therapy of Vestibular Disorders team at the Laboratory of Cognitive Neurosciences at, I'm going to ruin this, Marseille University. Will you say that correctly? That Marseille?
Marseille, ouais, in Marseille.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I had it pronounced correctly. Since 2015, Dr. Chabbert has directed GDR Vertige, a national research consortium uniting clinicians, scientists, and industry partners to advance the understanding and treatment of vestibular disorders. His expertise in sensory neuroscience and molecular electrophysiology has contributed to over 65 scientific publications and the founding of 2 biotech companies, Sensorion Pharmaceuticals and VeDA, focused on developing therapies for balance-related conditions. Dr. Chabbert also plays a key role in the European PROVIDE network, promoting translational research and innovation in neurootology across Europe. That was a mouthful. My goodness, you are an accomplished human being. Welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today.
So let's just jump in I'm sure many of us already know what Balance Awareness Week is, but Cynthia, for those of us that don't or need a refresher, I'd love to hear from your words. What is Balance Awareness Week?
Sure, Kimberly. Like you said, a lot of you have probably participated in Balance Awareness Week, but it was started by VeDA over 30 years ago as an opportunity to engage people all over the world in raising awareness about vestibular disorders. I mean, and I think the thought at the time was, and still is today, vestibular is this complicated unknown word. When you say vestibular, people kind of look at you kind of weird sometimes, and they're like, well, I don't know what you mean. But when you then describe that we're talking about the inner ear and conditions that affect balance and cause imbalance, vertigo, dizziness, they're like, oh yeah, I know what that is. So we're trying to connect people with, vestibular means balance. It means, when the balance system is off, it causes dizziness, so that people understand, and also to highlight what it is to have problems with your vestibular system. Vestibular disorders are invisible. People with vestibular disorders don't look sick, but they're all this is going on inside, and we want to make that more visible. So to highlight what it means to have a vestibular disorder and how debilitating it is. So we're really trying to make our little tagline is make vestibular visible. And raise awareness about the challenges of having a vestibular disorder. And as a VeDA, Vestibular Disorders Association campaign, it also raises funds to support our mission of educating patients, getting patients connected with healthcare professionals, and providing peer support, and also supporting research into vestibular disorders. So it's our biggest global campaign, where we want to engage everyone in the community, patients and healthcare professionals alike, in raising awareness about vestibular disorders. So,
amazing. Thank you.
yeah, and I want to start with Christian, because he has been amazing in this campaign, in bringing people together to engage in this campaign, because it's a global grassroots campaign, and it's not just VeDA, putting out information on our social media. It's everyone talking about this at the same time, and creating a buzz. And Christian has done that so amazingly well.
Yeah.
So, Christian, tell me, I forget, how long have you been participating in Balance Awareness Week?
Yes, well, France has joined this major event in 2022, and we clearly understood the interest of mobilizing those involved in the care of patients with balance disorders and vertigo, but also the patient associations, as well as the research laboratories altogether. And this community is very united in France, thanks to the creation 10 years ago of the VeDA Vertige, for Groupe de Research Group on Vertigo. And this community is able to mobilize for this type of cause, to raise awareness about balance disorder and vertigo, and the way to treat them.
So I'm actually curious. Well, I have two questions. I personally, I just want to know, you lead this pathophysiology and therapy of vestibular disorders team. Did you have a personal connection to vestibular disorders, or how did you get into that? And of course, then I also want to know why you decided to start engaging all of your colleagues in Europe to join your Balance Awareness Week efforts.
Yes. So for the first question, yes, I have a personal connection. My wife had lost her hearing, so she's completely deaf on one side, and so in the morning she woke up and she had some kind of blood event in the stroke in the ear. Maybe we believe it's that and the cause, and so she lost hearing, and for a couple of weeks she also lost almost all the function of the vestibule. But then slowly the vestibule started to repair. We know that this ability is given to the vestibule. The nerve fibers are able to reconnect the hair cells when they have suffered. So, and finally, eventually, the vestibular function was back. So now she, of course, has some tinnitus on the one ear. She's deaf, but she can move, and the vertigo part was the worst. She experienced actually, and but before that was 7 years ago. But before that, I was involved in this field. During my studies, my PhD in Montpellier, on the Mediterranean coast, I met a professor. That was my mentor, Professor Alain Sanz. That was a neurophysiologist that studied, the structure of the vestibule, and he did a lot of electron microscopy, and so it was amazing to find out, to see how wonderful the vestibular apparatus is. It's like a micromechanic working all the time to help us to feel the movement and to translate the movement into an electrical signal. And my goal was to record in the mouse, in the fibers, the activity, the electrical activity, and to try to find out what's going on when we got an insult in the ear. So that was part of what that I did for years. And when I decided to engage my colleague, in fact, the success of the initiatives in France in 2022 and 23 has transcended the borders and inspired our European colleagues to participate to the event. The Balanced Awareness Week concept is indeed very, very inspiring. Participants were given complete freedom to create an event in their place according to their desire, their means, in the major cities or in the village, in the countryside. And for many, it is also the opportunity to make themselves visible in their city, in their region, and even in some countries to start building a professional network. So that's unique, and this is why all the European countries agreed to join.
Yeah. Wow. That's fascinating.
I'm going to show for those of you who are only listening and not watching the video, we'll describe this. We're going to show a graphic of a map where that shows in France. So in the beginning, when Dr. Chabbert was participating in Balance Awareness Week, he was engaging his colleagues just in France. That's on the left side, and then next year it shows the growth of how many countries participated.
Last year, 11 European countries participated to the Balance Awareness Week, including Germany, United Kingdom, Ireland, Italy, Romania, the Netherlands, Switzerland, the Czech Republic, and also Greece and Portugal. So, in all these places, in all these countries, there was event that was produced by the practitioners and researchers, and with the support of the patient associations also.
So, give us an example of what type of events people hold for Balance Awareness Week.
Well, there was various type of activities that are organized each year. In some place that is people they produce times for discussion with patients in the practices. There was free balance function testing sessions also mostly in the university hospital in different cities in France. Some colleagues also contributed to articles in health magazines and radio broadcasts, TV shows. There was plenty of that during this week. And also in some universities, there was lectures from practitioners, from researchers on vestibular disorders, their etiology, their consequence, their evolution over time. And in some hospitals, there was also an interesting proposal of seminars bringing together different healthcare teams. So doctors from other fields, they came to these presentations, and so they were aware of what we tried to do. In the vestibular disorder field. And also in France, patient associations also helped to distribute a Balance Awareness Week posters in all pharmacies, so we could be visible everywhere in the country, in each city, in each village. That was great, and we're going to do that again this year.
Wow. Cynthia, it makes me think we're both in Oregon. We should do something. We like locally go to the government and hold a panel, or I don't know. We could spin some ideas around, but I'd be open to exploring something.
Absolutely. I think that Christian, and what you and your colleagues have done is such a great model for what I hope that others will do all over the world, which is engaging their community and sharing the message about balance disorders and their consequences. And also, when we're part of this is, it's to create the buzz, it's sharing the same message and using the same visuals, our Fiona Flamingo Balance Awareness Week logo. Some of I remember seeing some of the pictures of the events that were held where people took this logo and they blew it up onto huge posters, and they had those up in very public places. I love that they're engaging both patients in free balance assessments and healthcare professionals in lectures, vestibular specialists educating non-vestibular healthcare professionals to, close that loop. And because we know that that's part of the problem is that vestibular patients, they don't get referred appropriately because their primary care physicians maybe don't know enough about vestibular disorders. And then to make it fun, there was I'm trying to remember who it was, Christian, who held the run. Wasn't that in Tunisia where they had the
that was in
run for
Tunis.
balance?
But actually, this year, we would like to because we talk with our colleagues in the different countries. I started a visio 1 month ago already because we had to start early. And this year, we would like to do two main things. First, we would like to highlight even more the practitioners and researchers who are working hard to improve patient care. And we've asked everyone to create a short video post to be displayed on the social networks, in which they're going to introduce themselves. So I'm, etc. They're going to talk about their work, their motivation, and at the end of this, few seconds videos, we would like that everybody say the same sentence, supporting the Balance Awareness Week. It's obvious, for all of that. So we hope to have plenty of video on the social network, and to flood the internet during the week before, during, and after the Balance Awareness Week stuff. So that is one thing. Everybody will participate, and of course, you are welcome to extend to the US this initiative. And you were talking about the global run for balance. Yeah, so that was our colleagues from Tunisia, the ENT colleagues from Tunisia. They started 2 years ago also to in 2023 to start what they called les foulées de l'équilibre, the balance running, and that was a great success. So we would like, we would like to that this type of sport events could start in all countries in the same time. Starting from the east with and going back to Portugal, and then again they're gonna start in US after a few hours later. And so we expect to bring the medias, of course, and to do a lot of video posts to share with everybody on the net.
Wow.
I love it. Someday this is going to get so big that there literally is, someone in every country during Balance Awareness Week doing a run at some time.
Yeah.
Indeed, yeah. We may think about this type of message of heaven going from a country to another, and from Florida to California at the end.
Yeah, and everyone could film 30 seconds of them running, and then we stitched the whole thing together to see people running this one continuous race over, how many hours.
That's the video producer in you coming out.
I think visually.
Yes. Also, we may think about having some kind of online event during the first Sunday of the week, from different countries. So everybody connect and say, okay, look, we are in Greece, we are in Athens, and we are running here. So then we're going to go to Paris and then Munich, etc. So there could be, well, it's not a big deal to organize this. I mean, we want to stay that everybody can join. And so, well, let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I think we just need to make it fun
Yeah.
and make it easy for people to do. And we know that people in our community, people in the vestibular community, both patients and healthcare professionals, are really passionate about raising awareness. So I hope that everybody listening here will take that passion and participate and join in doing something for Balance Awareness Week. It can be a really simple thing. You just record yourself on your phone talking about your experience and share it, and ask people in your social circle to share it also. People want to help, and people they want to support you, and so everybody can do just a little thing, and it grows, and we can make vestibular visible. I use this example. I've used this example before, that 10 years ago, nobody knew what celiac disease was. And today, everybody associates celiac with gluten-free. People get it. It's not just a weird word. They totally understand the impact that it has. And we need to do that with vestibular disorders. And that's what balance awareness is about. So thank you, Christian, for all your efforts to help us raise awareness about Balance Awareness Week.
No,
I'm
thank
really
you for
excited.
inviting me. And I was thinking about listening to you. I'm gonna try to send you the translation in English of the video I show you. I mean, we got it in French. Just to as an example of what we can do is it's easy with a smartphone. It's very easy, and so anybody can do that. So
Wow,
I hope everybody
very inspiring.
will join.
Beautiful. Awesome. Well, thank you. And Paul, let's start talking about the other part of Balance Awareness Week, which is the fundraising part.
Sure.
So before we talk about fundraising, uh, let's talk about how else people can get involved in Balance Awareness Week.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You
Okay.
go.
What Dr. Chabbert was talking about, this is exactly why we want people involved, right? We want people to see and feel that they are not alone, that there is real power in community, and there are so many ways, and the more community we have, the more awareness there is, and the more action that can be taken, right? It becomes, Cynthia, what you were talking about is so true. It moves out of the realm of something that is invisible, something that is abstract, this weird word like, if I use that in Scrabble, how many points am I going to get, to something that people really understand, and they understand the impact that it has on their friends, their neighbors, their loved ones, and that they really can take an intentional action to create this community and create action. So I think that there are there are a lot of ways that people can become involved in Balance Awareness Week that I think are meaningful. Here's a few. One is, first and foremost, commit to taking some kind of action. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to, it's whatever small action you can take that action, right? I think that's the first thing. But more specifically, if you're kind of casting around to think, it's like, well, what could I do? If there's a balance awareness event near you, participate in that. Promote Balance Awareness Week to people that you know. I think that VeDA is doing such a great job of putting information out there, making it available for folks, right? Sharing something, engaging with that content is something that is meaningful, it is broad-based, and is so easy to do. What is going on, what Dr. Chabbert and his colleagues are doing in Europe, share that. Like, how exciting is it to see so many countries having some kind of event or action during Balance Awareness Week? Dr. Chabbert was talking about doing this run and having it progress from, country to country. And immediately what I thought of was the torch relay for the Olympics, right? I mean, how cool could it be to do something like that? I don't know, like a flamingo torch or something that people could carry
Yeah.
to raise awareness. I mean, I don't know. That's like that's a whole
I like the idea of the flamingo.
Agreed.
I think Fiona would love it.
right. But promote, right. Where's Fiona? Right? I remember our daughter, when she was in school, they would, in one of her classes, they had like a little dragon because that was the school mascot, and everyone got to take the dragon home, and you were supposed to take photos like the dragon doing different things. What a phenomenal way to take action that is going to get people's attention.
Yeah.
So there's participating in an event, promoting what is going on, and then of course, I wouldn't be me if I didn't talk about the value and impact of raising money to support the work that VeDA is doing to support the vestibular community. Do a personal fundraiser. We've got some very exciting, VeDA has some very exciting activities coming up. We're planning to make it really easy for people to take on that fundraiser, because in doing that, even if and it's not about raising thousands or millions of dollars. Now, if you did that, fantastic, right? We will be very appreciative of that. But just even a small amount propels us further forward. It allows us to help more people who may be feeling isolated, who may be feeling alone, who maybe have been dismissed by a healthcare provider, right? This is all in their head and they should just like get used to it or, whatever. So doing that is, I think, such an important action to take, because this is something that we can do for our community.
Paul, how do you coach people when they just feel like, oh, fundraising, I can't ask people for money. It's so awkward and it's dirty. How do you dispel all of that for people?
Oh, don't I know it? I mean, I've been raising money professionally for more than 30 years, and if I had a nickel for every time I had that conversation, I would own a chain of islands. Right?
He wouldn't have to fundraise.
Right. Well, no. Let's not get crazy, right? Because fundraising, but here's the thing. One, it's not easy. Let's just admit that asking for help, asking for support, especially when it comes to a financial investment, it's not easy to do, right? I recognize that. I think why people feel, like it's really hard for them to do, it feels kind of icky, it feels like they're coercing, they're coercing their friends and family, they're trying to persuade people, is because they're focusing on the ask. And they're focusing on fundraising, which honestly is just about 5% of development. And what I would encourage people to think about is let's zoom this out to development and focus on that. Because by focusing on that, being intentional with that, you get to the place where you can ask someone to make a charitable investment. But everyone focuses on that and they immediately feel like, oh, I can't do that because I'm not insert name of super rich philanthropist here. Right. But if you are willing to share your own story, if you are willing to do a personal fundraiser or join a team doing a fundraiser during Balance Awareness Week, it if you're willing to share and promote that with people that you know in your circles of connection, you're doing development. And you're drawing people in and engaging them in something that is important and valuable to you, but it may also be important and valuable to them. And they just didn't know that there was a way for them to participate.
Mm.
Right? So if we're doing that, right, if you're willing to do that and you're creating an authentic and intentional connection and a partnership where are right, I'm sharing information with you that I think is valuable, that I think is important, that I think that you will find useful, and you're sharing back with me what you value and the vision that you have for the community, and I can be responsive to that. That's development. And at some point now, I can give you the opportunity to invest in that by asking directly. And the ask is not, give me money or the cat dies. It's we share that I know that we share a vision for our community. We have similar values. Will you join me in investing in this work? Right? And then once that once that ask has come out, you allow someone to respond, you give them an easy way to respond, and then, either they say yes, yay, fantastic. They say no, okay, in my career, in my experience, no is never forever, or very rarely is. It just isn't the right time or the right opportunity, or they say maybe. And if they say maybe, well, that's just they're inviting continued conversation. They're going to ask questions, you're going to answer them. And then after that, it's continuing that authentic relationship that we've now established based on shared vision and shared values. And I'm offering more information to draw someone closer so that they can become more involved. That's really what this is all about, right? It's development. Fundraising, very small part, 5%, right? Focus on the other 95%. There are so many ways to do development that are meaningful and powerful. I very much understand, right? When we're talking about money, we often, right, there are unknown, unseen, acknowledged feelings about money and power or powerlessness, um, that can get in the way of doing great work. So I always encourage and coach people to zoom out, to think about development, not fundraising. And how do you develop authentic connection and community in such a way that you can then get to that place where it's appropriate to have a conversation about making some kind of investment to propel an organization toward their mission, toward fulfilling their mission.
Paul, there was something that you said early on, which was, giving people an opportunity to help. And I think it's hard for most people to receive help, whether it's, whether it's financial help or help in any other way. But I always I flip that around in my head and I think of the other side of it, because most people want to help and are willing to help
Yes.
others, and it makes them feel good to do that. And so when I think of giving, getting over my fear or embarrassment about letting someone help me and just giving them the opportunity to do this thing that makes them feel good, then it's a little bit easier. It's like I'm actually doing something good for them, giving them an opportunity to feel good about something that they're doing. And most people are I know whenever I've had a friend who's done a fundraiser for some cause that's important to them, sometimes I'm interested in that cause and sometimes I'm not. But I make a donation because I want them to feel, I want to support them, and I want them to feel good about, the effort that they're putting into supporting this organization that's doing work that's important to them. So, it's not about me, it's about them.
Yeah.
Right. And the other thing that we have to remember, all of that is true. Absolutely. This is about opportunity to take action, opportunity to make connection. People, I think two of the hardest things are to ask for help and to offer help. Asking for help is hard, right? Because we, get into our heads about being embarrassed or ashamed about it, and we don't have to be, right? We don't have to be, because like you said, people want to help. It's hard sometimes to know how. So by sharing, being willing to share your story, by being willing to invite, joining in some kind of action, doing a fundraiser, um, you're giving people a way to help. And maybe they're helping, they want to help you because they're your friend, a colleague. They're not going to be into the cause, and that's okay. That is okay, because like you said, you have given them a way to feel really great about taking some kind of action. I learned early on that it is not doing development, it's not my responsibility to manage someone's feelings or make assumptions about what they will or will not do. My job is to facilitate the opportunity to take an action that aligns with the vision that they have for their community, and the values that they want to express. Right. And I think that's really, if we focus on that, it just becomes, it, it's still hard, but that's a much easier conversation to have. It's a much easier way to take an action. And you know what? It feels really great to be able to do that.
Mhm.
Whether you're making that offer or you're taking someone up on that offer, it feels great. And there's so much in today's day and age that is really hard and difficult and is a real bummer. Why not give people a way to do something impactful and joyful?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a really great point.
Okay.
We all need those opportunities daily. So,
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I want to kind of bring this back to the bigger Balance Awareness Week picture. Balance Awareness Week is about so many things. It's about raising public awareness about vestibular disorders, and everyone can do one small thing to do that. It's just sharing your story, and by creating what we call, it's a personal campaign page. You've probably seen those, online before. That's a platform to share your story. You put your story in there, and then you share that with your friends and family and coworkers, and what you're doing is just sharing your story. And if they decide that they want to help by making a donation, that's great. But your action is to share your story. That's the powerful part of Balance Awareness Week, is sharing your story to raise awareness about vestibular disorders. And I think it's really important to come back to the purpose of Balance Awareness Week. And I think that everyone in our community can get behind that.
yeah. And personal stories are, that's vestibular is a word that people don't connect to, but a human face and a narrative arc that they went through, and the people that got involved in their life, that's what people can understand.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of, like, we've all heard about the ripple effect, right? You throw a pebble in the water and there's all these ripples out. Being willing to be vulnerable and honest about your own story, your journey, right? You're putting that out. You don't know how far that will go and how that will affect people who maybe they're feeling alone, they're feeling isolated, they don't know, right? They don't think that anyone else is having a similar experience. So by doing that, by being willing to be vulnerable, to share one's story, you're having an impact on inviting other people in who need to be in this community to get the kind of support, to have the sense of the sense of togetherness that that this really is all about.
Yep. It's, again, an opportunity for us to come together as a community and support each other. I just want to remind everybody that Balance Awareness Week takes place in September. It's the week of September 14th through the 20th. Of course, we do a lot to prepare for it, and you can get more information at vestibular.org/BAW for Balance Awareness Week. Thank you both so much for coming and sharing your experience, your expertise. Christian, thank you for spearheading the European campaign to raise awareness about vestibular disorders.
It's a pleasure.
And Paul, thanks again for demystifying fun development for us.
For sure. Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. It was
Thanks,
very
everybody.
inspiring. Thank you both.
Oh, thank you. This is really great.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in to ICU this month.
We hope this conversation sparked new understanding of the vestibular journey. And for all of our patients out there, leaves you feeling just a little more heard and a little more seen. I see you.